Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for season 5. Well, it's season 5 on Netflix, so don't hate me. Netflix's original anime, The Seven Deadly Sins. Let me know in the comments below, who is your favorite character, or who do you believe to be the strongest character? I think it's Hawk. Let's jump into the review. Bun searches Purgatory for Melodious. King Jerry and the others head to Heaven's Theatre to rescue Elizabeth, who's been abducted by Esterosa. So the Seven Deadly Sins on Netflix has been a bit of a hit and miss for fans. We had the first season, which I think was quite well received. We had the 24 episodes and people loved that. And then we had the sorry excuse for a second season. At least Netflix called it a second season with 4 episodes, and then we had the third, we had the fourth, which had mixed reception because of the animation style. Before it went to Netflix did something with the animation and it looked much better. And then at the end of season 4 we have a massive cliffhanger, and then during COVID we're like, when are we going to get season 5? And this did kind of come out of the blue for me. We had a rough idea of when it was coming out, and then Netflix goes, here you go, season 5. Unfortunately, we're not getting 24 episodes for now. It's a 12 episode season, about 24 minutes a piece. If you knock off the intro and the outro, it's about 20 minutes an episode. There is a bit of a long intro with each episode, and so you get about 20 minutes of 12 episodes. Without doing spoilers, you're going to be like, huh, because it's going to feel like we're going to need another 12 episodes, and you understand what I mean by that when you get to it. It does feel like they've split this season up in half, and they're going to make the next season, season 6, the next 12 episodes, because maybe they're not quite ready for the animation. Nevertheless, was it any good? It was. It was really fun. I was surprised by how they went straight into this. No kind of real recap. That very first episode, there's a quick recap, but it goes straight into the action. Every single episode is action heavy. There's very few exposition dumpings of like, this is what's happening in the story now. So we have our 3 groups. We have one group trying to rescue Melodious's body, which is in the kingdom of Arthur, and obviously we're all sad about what happened to Arthur, but it's Camelot. We also have Bun, who's trying to rescue Melodious's emotional body, and so there's a whole arc that's going on down there, which is very interesting. Then we also have obviously the rescue that's going on, and so we have our party, our 7 Deadly Sins, mixed with the 3 kind of storylines that we had going on from season 4, and that is a real amalgamation of where everything's going to come together, but it's always heading towards the Melodious story and the Demon King. That's what this one is about, and it was very entertaining. The action sequences, when there are action sequences, the big action sequences, feel good. There's a lot of close, high, vibrant action sequences that some of the times you can't see what's going on, but you get the idea, and there's a lot of people screening off screen, and then they'll cut to it, and they're like, still frame kind of passing. And I think that's kind of the formula they go for there. They spend their budget in the big action sequences, and then in the kind of dialogue talking, we'll get still frames that are kind of zoomed out or zoomed in or panned left or panned right to give the illusion of animation. And they might animate with like some clouds or something in the background might move, or a singular person's face might move, but everybody else in the background will kind of be still. And that is kind of part and parcel when it comes to this sort of animation. That's kind of what happens. That's where budget constraints kind of hold you back. However, I thought the way they just jumped into the action but had the story intermingle in between that kept it very intense, very exciting. One of my favorite storylines definitely in this season so far is, I say so far because we don't know what's going to happen next with the 12 episodes, is Bun in Purgatory Hell, seeing what he goes through there, and the kind of the influences or the repercussions of perhaps future storylines. I will do an ending explained in a separate video, but for now this is non-spoiler, so all I can say is I had a lot of fun with this. I wasn't expecting it to be as full on. It almost feels like they were rushing it, but there was no need. They could have done more episodes. It also doesn't finish. There's an arc that of a storyline that feels like it's kind of finished, but also isn't quite finished. There's a whole bunch of storylines or things that haven't been answered. Had they even had one more episode, they could have probably finished it and never needed to come back. This could have been the ending. So it feels like a very strange place to end it. That would be my only negativity towards these 12 episodes, because I thought it was a lot of fun. I know some people will have some issues with the still frames and some of the animation. I, for one, love the intermingling between the action sequences and the storylines. I'm very much now invested in the characters. I have my favorites. I think Bon, Gowther, I think that's how you pronounce it. Gowther, Gowther. Yeah, Gowther. Their storylines are very dark. Background storyline that is dark. We get to find out a bit more about Melodious's brother, his background storyline. So every time there is some development in backgrounds of storyline, you're suddenly like giving so much more dimension to the character, rather than them just being the traditional bad guys. They now have a reason for you to kind of care about them. And that's what throws up the conundrum of making this anime quite interesting, because every single character has a backstory, what feels like the kind of the main gems. Whoever's fighting who, you get some time behind those characters, and you find out why they're fighting. They feel like they're fighting for, their reason. They feel like, the victors or the people that are fighting, it's always like, I'm right. So whoever's on a war in like real life, they feel like they're right, and so that it shows that in this battle, which I thought was an interesting way to go. It also comes down to relationships. That's what this anime has always been about the relationships that are formed and what you're willing to do to fight for them. So we have a whole bunch of, obviously, Bun and his relationship. We have Melodious. We have a bunch of others that people just really care for each other, and that's really where you can see the writers that try to emotionally entangle us. And I think for the most part, they do that quite well. So I'm going to give this an A. I really enjoyed it. Look out for my spoiler ending talk. Thanks so much for watching this. Let me know in the comments below who is your favorite character. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.